Abusuan like video share mo bi foforo na ono so enya bi entumi enhwe na ene ubepie mu Ghana de ba ko ananse debate ba ko a ekoso a etwetwe amanfo asompa eyese mampanyi John Mahama ebe decide so obeko term ananse onko na enyina anim se Johnson Asiedu Nketia ono ye chairman de ma NDC amanyoko no ohwe ne aprobo bi ne niwe bi a oya bibia di adanse epefe se se akwanya beda ho se NDC foko yi frankatuni a obe contest bi na eno ena okwakodi nkomo bi na nkomo na wadie no ayese odododo nsem no ho ebisa na asem na aso kansi so aso onkansi so na hwe nsem odi atudwa na chese bibi ebesi ewo NDC mu a chese nya asem ketua kra na lawyer Paul Adom Ochi etimi adoso nsem no mu ebiebie nsem so eyi old videos bi a efa Asiedu Nketia na ne nsem a oka brebi ne ne oka a chese odi tutu nsenuani a otimi se chese enya asem ketua kra yengibre na yenkotieti nsem ni bi yenso adwenkyere no yemfa into comment section.
There's a third term agenda that they talk about for President John Dramani Mahama, isn't it? Now on my touch screen here, I have Kwesi Pratt Jr., who has said a lot about it. I have in the middle Presidents John Dramani Mahama and Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the party chairman. We woke up to a rare Asiedu Nketia interview on Sunday morning, and you can tell that the party chairman was very affected by the third term matter. Even if you look at his body language, he's almost angry about people who are calling for third term. And so we're going to look at that. What is the conversation? The conversation is that two people have gone to court. Ken Koranche, who is an MPP person, is one of them. In fact, Ken Koranche's application to court elicited a response from Martin Amidu, the former Attorney General, former Deputy Attorney General, former Attorney General, and indeed former Special Prosecutor, or shall I say the first Special Prosecutor of the Akufo-Addo era, and Martin Amidu wrote something about it. So the Supreme Court is being invited to make a declaration that on a true and proper interpretation of the provisions of Article 66 of the 1992 Constitution, John Dramani Mahama is truly qualified and competent to vie for a third term, because if John Mahama runs for president again, he will be looking for a third term, having served as president from January 2013 to January 2016. And now he's serving currently as president, beginning his term from January 2025 and the term ending January 2029. In December 2028, according to the calendar, there will be election in Ghana again. And will John Mahama be on the ballot? If he goes on the ballot, then he's potentially looking for a third term. So that's the conversation that's going on in the circles. And Johnson Asiedu Nketia had to necessarily take a step to look at the interview. Let's see what President Mahama himself has said about this third term agenda. Have a look at President Mahama's video.
The people of Ghana gave me a mandate for one term, and I am working hard to meet the promises I made them. And so I always tell my ministers, I say, let's number our days so that we can work harder to meet the promises we made the Ghanaian people. I know that people have gone to the Supreme Court seeking interpretation of the clause that governs the tenure of the president. If you ask my personal opinion, I thought that it was clear enough. Me, I've read it over several times. It's exactly what it says. But if they want to ask the Supreme Court, that is their business. But I know that the people of Ghana gave me one additional term, and I'm going to work to meet the trust that they put in me.
Okay, so that's John Dramani Mahama, who spoke earlier about this. Now, let's listen to Johnson Asiedu Nketia in his very rare Sunday morning interview and video that surfaced. We don't know whether the video was actually recorded on Sunday morning, but it came out on Sunday morning. I mean, I was on my way to church when everyone was sending it to me. Hey, have you seen your man? Have you seen your man? Some people say your uncle is talking, oh, blah, blah, blah. I love Asiedu Nketia to bits. And everyone knows that I love him, don't they? So they were all sending it to me. I have to do justice to my viewers who definitely wanted me to highlight this on Good Evening Ghana tonight. Here is Johnson Asiedu Nketia's rare interview published on Sunday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Third term agenda. third term agenda. Sa subject no nye subject ketwa sese didi agro.
Okay.
But the way a man for a debate ho asem no. Akwa akoye say ye de aye personalities. So omo de abeya in President Mahama ko mu say wa obeka say wo petetem no na ope Mahama asem. Wa obeka say wo petetem no na che say wo time Mahama. A very dangerous ejuma omo ye.
Okay.
So na MPP for so I started Mahama ni term agenda ntini ye chese womu pese ye for so the campaign message.
Okay.
So na President Mahama mo kana semu wa ba be ka say onye interested. Na nipa no si onye interested. Na wo say makoko to say me ko hye no amanaye. Na uteti asofo no binum a asi wo tete me kura me dia bamba bi o say sofo bi ka say eyi me de me ka say me gina presidential eyi a obi antimi bitimi na de be ha me an say tete Mahama ni tete agenda no memfa manuntum me de manutum pe acha say ebe say ade no kura ama Mahama de abufu akọ abranti bi ama na bebitimi na me ni prophecy mu hunu mu.
Okay.
But we prophecy ametuma bisa question kakra say nipa no a ono wabeka say ade no ompe menso menyantu manum to say meko baabi ana menko baabi.
Okay.
Na wahwe mu aka say me asedu nkati anko asemu ya ba dia eno ye ba ko de tosu mi nu nso no de enyina so a ye gina so aye campaign na ye mamu no Ghana for so agi atumu no ade ba ko pa ni se Ghana for gi tumu se President Mahama ye no kwafo onti se Bawumia enti o ka asem a he means it.
Okay.
So you heard Johnson Asidun Ketia. He says that Asofo, this is clergy, and they have been saying a lot of gibberish that if he is against the third term agenda, John Mahama will bring an Abrantie. The Abrantie is Keselato Forsen. We're going to put his photograph there, but we didn't have much time to do it. You see it later. Keselato Forsen, those of you watching on social media can see it. That's what Asidun Ketia is talking about. So quite clearly, viewers, Asidun Ketia is worried about the third term agenda. And he's also indicating that he is not with the third term agenda. There's another part of the video where he says that Mahama is not an otrofo like another person. So when he says that he's not doing third term agenda, he's truly not doing third term agenda. So viewers, what really do you think? Do you think that the supporters of President Mahama, because there was a press conference in Ashanti region by some people, they call themselves a new group. So groups are being formed who are calling for the third term agenda. Are you aligned to the third term agenda or are you disaligned to President Mahama's third term agenda if you're an NDC person? Kwesi Pratt Jr., who is a left-wing journalist and thinker and therefore sympathetic to the NDC, had also had some very brutal remarks against the third term agenda, speaking on Peace FM to Kwame Sefakai. Have a listen to Kwesi Pratt Jr.
Danin who beka so petete makodi and who be nwa yipa.
Na Kwesi waka so ompe. Waka no bebre.
Ebinu mo ka se bia ye hanya. Na se ye hanya dia. Ene dan hu papa.
David,
enti ni se beba so.
Enti me nya.
Tetem no emma so. Na oni Fifi Kwete. NDC General Secretary no. Wakasa afasa nyoma hu.
O se party no mfa so.
Sape. Osmo mo yes no.
Me greedy.
Because omo ye greedy and opportunist. That's one person papa no corner
Omo bibi nti a ombenya die.
Exactly. No more greediness no opportunity no. Ebe how mine no. Ebe how papa lankasa. Ebe how biara. Edu mu ntwaso. Omo ntwaso kra ni ntumi enya sudwi.
Ya
tell me the masa emmaso.
Ya hena Supreme Court beka.
Oh, masa emmaso kwami. Tete emmaso. Oh.
Because social constitution yenya lawyer for ntie hu.
Kwami, unti brofo.
Meti kakra fine.
Say nya lawyer for nkwa na ti brofo.
Meti kakra fine, but me brofo kakra minim no. Say me share article 66 na. 66:2 say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
Finish.
Almost say ankasa consecutively.
Finish. For more than 2 terms, finish.
Yeah, so you heard Kwesi Pratt Jr. Oh, I thought they gave me a poster by my dear friend Felix Kwatio-Fosu. So Felix Kwatio-Fosu is the government spokesperson. He's also a member of parliament. And he says, recently quoted by one of the online portals, he said, President John Mahama will not contest 2028 election, regardless of the Supreme Court ruling. Felix Kwatio-Fosu. So Felix Kwatio-Fosu is telling us that even if the Supreme Court were to come out and give a ruling that interprets Article 66 in a way that allows President Mahama to run for a 3rd term, even if that were so, President Mahama will not run. I've heard MPP people who have been talking about, well, if they want to do a 3rd term, we present John Agyekum Kufuor, and we know what John Agyekum Kufuor has achieved for Ghana. We know, everybody talks about it. Today, NDC praises him. Alote Jacobs apologized to him. Sami Jemfi has been to him. Kufuor calls him that very distinguished Ghanaian. Dr. Bawumia calls him his boss. John Mahama calls him his boss. So if there's a 3rd term opportunity, then here we are. 86-year-old John Agyekum Kufuor would be the MPP flag bearer on the ballot. We move with it. We're going to vote for him massively, and then we see how it goes around. Maybe he can have Dr. Bawumia as a running mate. Something like that. Is that what we want? This is a full story. It says, the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwatio-Fosu, has stated that President John Dramani Mahama will not seek re-election in the 2028 general elections, regardless of the outcome of the Supreme Court case, Article 66:2 of the 1992 Constitution. According to him, President Mahama remains committed to serve his current term and has no intention of contesting for another term, irrespective of the court's decision on the constitutional provision. Okay, so that's quite straightforward for us.